Hey everybody, welcome back to another Madden video. Today we're going to go over our vertical heat recovery systems for boiler surface blowdown. We have 6 pre-designed units for this, and as you can tell there's different features we can offer. What I want to do is go over again what they are, the features that we can provide and what's happening within the system. And then at the end I'll touch on some frequently asked questions, so hopefully this will be a great video for end users and contractors and any of our reps that are installing a new unit. We often get asked for training or startup help, and hopefully after this you'll see just how easy these are, relatively speaking, to get in the room. So again, this is a compact vertical heat recovery system. And in large enough industrial boiler rooms, you're going to have surface blowdown continually draining the cruddy water and sediment that builds up at the top to keep your boiler clean. So installing one of these is going to recover a lot of heat to go back into your system that would otherwise just be drained, and it's going to greatly reduce your fuel consumption in your boiler room. So sticking with this unit to go over the overview, one of the first features we can offer you is an inlet manifold. So it's very common to have 3, 4, 5 boilers in a room, all blowing down to just one of our units. Most of the boilers nowadays have a conductivity-based automated time controller to control the blowdown directly off the boiler. One of the things we can offer is a very rugged manual orifice meter valve. So if we were providing that on a job, you would see that installed on the manifold. If you have an already automated system set up, then we would provide 45-degree angle connections here for you to pipe to. So what the first thing that's going to happen in these systems is it's going to be receiving high pressure, hot boiler water, and it's going to enter our low pressure flash tank. The reason this is operating at a low pressure is you're going to vent it back to your deaerator. So this will end up operating just above your DA, which is most likely going to be about 5 to 7 pounds. So with that pressure drop, it's going to cause flash steam. And flash steam is clean, pure, eventually condensate that you're going to want back in your system. So that will go up and out of our vent, back to your deaerator. That's one thing that you will want, is some type of check valve in the vent line. This allows the boiler pressure to come in here and build and push that steam out. It also keeps any steam and heat from your DA backtracking into our system. After that process is occurring, the remaining dirty water that doesn't flash is going to drain through a trap that we build internally in this system. We also have the option to make external traps if you prefer. Then that hot water is going to stay inside of our vertical coil heat exchanger. So the nice thing about this heat exchanger is it keeps the dirty water you don't want inside that coil. It's self-draining, so the coil lasts a very long time. And then what you're going to have here is your fresh makeup water go into the DA to feed the boiler. It's going to come in here and then leave, and then 3 things are happening here. One, you have your, let's say 60-degree city water coming in here. It's going to cool your dirty water that you no longer want well below 140 degrees. And what's nice about that is you can immediately drain it to a sewer. You don't have to send it to another blowdown tank or have a quenching valve on it. It's just ready to be drained. But then that 60-degree water that's cooling this is also going to pick up heat. So you'll notice if it's coming in at 60 degrees, you might see it going out 5, 10, even 15 degrees warmer. So again, that's free heat that you otherwise wouldn't have if you're just draining to a blowdown tank. And then your other way you're getting heat is through the flash steam. But keep in mind, since this is under 5, 7 pounds of pressure, that's just one more reason these are mechanical and kind of just work on their own, is that's going to push your dirty water to wherever your floor sewer is, or where the next tank, if you do drain it to that. You don't need a pump, no electronics, it's just going to work on its own. Gary, if you can just pop over here really quick, let's give everybody a visual. So you'll see inside of here is our heat exchanger coil. One of the nice things about our units is that the dirty water's in the coil and the makeup water is in our large shell. So our competitor designs its opposite, which greatly restricts your ability to push all of your makeup water flow through this. In ours, you can just pop it in, pop it out, no control valves, no bypass lines. It can usually handle all the flow you're ever going to push to your boiler. Another thing, we'll just peek inside of here, is our internal float and drain trap. See if we can give everybody a decent look here. So you'll see in here, this is our float. It opens up a drain. That's what keeps the unit under pressure and allows the dirty condensate then to leave down the coil. Gary, you can go ahead and head back out there. Obviously some simpler features, but the sight glass gives you an idea of the water level, pressure gauge. We have a high level alarm just in case that trap or external trap gets backed up and it starts to rise. That'll switch and sound an alarm box we provide. You can also wire it back to your control system, let the operators know. It probably goes without saying, but we have an ASME relief valve on these since they are under pressure. One of the features we can also offer, if you notice here, is this is kind of our old school base. The frustrating thing about these is even though you usually don't have to touch them for 15 or 20 years before maybe replacing the heat exchanger, is when that day does come, unfortunately you have to take the entire unit out to replace that heat exchanger. With what we call the external base, this allows you to just drop the lower unit out, make that replacement, put it back in. Another thing you see here is a custom fit insulation jacket. So we can provide that for the top and bottom units. These things are doing two things. One, it just makes your heat recovery more efficient. They also protect personnel that might be walking by and not paying attention and putting their hand on the unit because it will be rather warm. So again, compact vertical units, pretty easy to install in an already made boiler room. It's going to recover a lot of heat that you'd otherwise just be draining and losing and burning fuel to recover. Few frequently asked questions. So again, I mentioned a lot of groups ask us to come train and help with startup. Certainly can if needed, but there's not so much to start up, so to speak. So the things that you're starting up would be your boiler and the automated blowdown valves. Once those are working, this tank simply receives that, and then the natural boiler pressure is pushing the steam out and through, and the natural pressure that this is working on is pushing the condensate out. The trap is mechanical, whether it's our internal trap or external trap, so there's nothing to start up there. The things that are important to look at to feel good that your unit's functioning as it should is first, the gauge. Are you around 5, 7, 10 pounds of pressure just above your DA? That's good. Do you see a small water level in here, implying that steam is leaving and the condensate's filling up to about here, but then draining? That's good. And then the last thing to check is your makeup water inlet, your makeup water outlet, and your drain. So usually you're going to see anywhere from 3 to 10 degree pickup from the makeup water in to out. That tells you, hey, I have clear separation from my clean makeup water and my dirty condensate. I see a 60 degree, I see a 70 degree, and then this is draining well below 140. A sign that something could be wrong way down the road in the future is if all these start to become very close temperatures. That would imply that you do have a small hole wearing through your heat exchanger that's allowing everything to quench. So that caps our vertical heat recovery systems. If you have a existing boiler room or a new boiler room that you think is going to be pushing down some significant surface blowdown and want to increase efficiency in your room, please give us or one of our reps a call. Thank you.